10 Best Books to Get Rich, Part 2. In this Part 2 we will show you 10 best books to get rich. Have you watched Part 1? If not, click on the pop-up at top right. 1. The Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki argues that there are actually 4 different types of workers. The first 2, employees and self-employed individuals, trade their time for money. The second 2, business owners and investors, focus on creating passive income streams. Kiyosaki argues that the key to financial success is to move from the left side of the quadrant, employees and self-employed, to the right side, business owners and investors. While it may take some time and effort to make the transition, it is a worthwhile goal for anyone who wants to achieve financial independence. 2. How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill. In it, O'Neill outlines his simple and effective strategy for picking stocks and becoming a successful investor. One of the book's key insights is that, in order to make money, you need to find companies that are growing at an accelerated rate. O'Neill also stresses the importance of diversification, not putting all your eggs in one basket, and staying disciplined with your investing strategy. How to Make Money in Stocks is essential reading for any serious investor, and its simple and straightforward advice has helped millions of people achieve financial success. 3. Your Money or Your Life by Vicki. Vicki challenges us to rethink our relationship with money. She argues that our time is the most precious commodity we have, and yet we often sell our time for far less than it's worth. Robin urges readers to take a close look at their expenditures and ask themselves whether they are truly getting value for their money. Are they spending money on things that bring them joy, or are they just buying stuff because they think they need it? Robin's message is powerful and timely, and it is sure to resonate with anyone who is struggling to make ends meet. 4. The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. This book has gained a cult following in recent years, and it's easy to see why. Collins's clear and concise writing style makes complex topics accessible to the layperson, and his message is simple yet profound: save early and often, invest in low-cost index funds, and stay the course. While The Simple Path to Wealth is aimed at those who are just starting out on their financial journey, its lessons are applicable to everyone. After all, who doesn't need a reminder to live below their means and avoid debt? Whether you're just beginning to think about your financial future or you're already retired, The Simple Path to Wealth is essential reading. 5. The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. David Bach lays out a simple but effective plan for becoming a millionaire. The first step is to pay yourself first by setting aside 10% of your income for savings and investments. This may seem like a difficult thing to do, but Bach argues that it is essential to reach your financial goals. The second step is to make your money work for you by investing in yourself through education and training. This will help you earn more money and reach your financial goals quicker. The third and final step is to live below your means and avoid the temptation of consumer debt. By following these 3 simple steps, Bach argues that anyone can become a millionaire. 6. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. In his book, Simon Sinek argues that businesses should focus on the why rather than the what. In other words, businesses should start with their purpose or mission rather than their product or service. This may seem like a trivial distinction, but it can make a big difference in how successful a business is. After all, people don't buy products or services, they buy solutions to their problems. And the best way to sell solutions is to start with why you are in business in the first place. By focusing on the why, businesses can tap into the emotional needs of their customers and create a more powerful connection. This ultimately leads to more loyal customers and more sales. 7. The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. In his book, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Charles Duhigg explores the science of habit formation and how it can be used to improve our lives. Duhigg begins by discussing the basic structure of a habit, which he describes as a behavior that is triggered by a cue and then reinforced by a reward. He then goes on to explain how habits are formed and why they are so difficult to break. In the second half of the book, Duhigg applies these concepts to various real-world situations, such as quitting smoking, losing weight, and increasing productivity. By understanding how habits work, we can learn how to make positive changes that last. 8. Freakonomics by Stephen Levitt and Stephen Dubner. Economics book, Freakonomics, abridged CD by Stephen Levitt and Stephen Dubner may go against what most people think. They explain how incentives can drive people's behavior. For example, if a driver knows that he or she will get a ticket for speeding, then that person is less likely to speed. The book also covers the topics of crime, legalization of drugs, and naming children. While most people think that legalizing drugs would lead to more drug use, Levitt and Dubner argue that it would actually lead to less drug use. They provide evidence to support their claim by looking at alcohol consumption during Prohibition. Overall, Freakonomics is an interesting and thought-provoking book that challenges many assumptions about human behavior. 9. The Outsiders by William Thorndike. This book is a fascinating look at the lives of America's so-called self-made men. These are men who have managed to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and become successful despite coming from modest beginnings. Thorndike profiles some of the most famous self-made men in history, including Andrew Carnegie, John D. Rockefeller, and Henry Ford. He also looks at the traits that these men share, such as determination and perseverance. The book is both inspiring and informative, and it provides valuable lessons for anyone who is looking to achieve success in life. If you're looking for a book that will motivate you to reach for your goals, then The Outsiders is a must-read. 10. 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel asks the question, what valuable company will be built next? He argues that it is more important to focus on new, innovative ideas rather than following in the footsteps of existing businesses. Thiel believes that there are four main categories of progress: vertical, i.e. going from 0 to 1, horizontal, i.e. going from 1 to n, technological, i.e. improving an existing product or service, and social, i.e. changes to the way we interact with each other. He argues that the most valuable companies are those who focus on vertical progress, going from 0 to 1. These are the companies that create new, innovative products or services that have never been seen before. While some may view Thiel's book as a blueprint for how to build the next big company, it is also a reminder that progress comes in many forms. Whether it's a new technology or a new way of interacting with the world, progress is always happening, we just need to be aware of it and open to change. The books listed above provide a variety of perspectives on getting rich. They cover topics such as habit formation, motivation, and innovation. While each book offers valuable insights, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel is particularly noteworthy. Thiel argues that the most successful companies are those who focus on vertical progress, going from 0 to 1. These are the companies that create new, innovative products or services that have never been seen before. By understanding how to foster innovation, we can build a brighter future for ourselves and for our businesses. If you're looking for more information on getting rich and how to foster innovation, then subscribe to my channel.